coach's dream, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's a coach's dream. And the quality of players you get in is just, I mean, it's, oh my goodness, it's tremendous. And the thing about, soccer, is, when players look at coming over to play, you have the stigma of, oh, I've got to go to this division or that division. But I think in soccer, what we always tell people is, if you were to line up soccer players for the most part, you can't tell whether it's a top one, D1, D2, D3 NI program if you just had shirts. No, I mean, no name of it, because soccer is unique where some of the best players in the world are 5'6" or 6'2". I mean, no other sports really have to where it's all said and that. Where basketball, you have kind of a stigma. You're not really seeing too many small ones playing, at the highest level. But in soccer, that's not the case. I mean, one of the best players in the world is, Messi, and he's 5'0", or Neymar. I mean, but these are guys that's a beautiful thing about soccer. As I always tell the youth, the beauty about soccer is, at a young age, you can say, I want to be a soccer player and I want to play at a high level. And you can have an opportunity because it's based with you in the ball, on the ground, your decision making. There's physical attributes that come later on. But in other sports, you can't say that. You can say, hey, I want to be, like for me, I couldn't say, hey, I want to be an NBA player. Well, at 5'9", I wasn't ever going to be tall. So that dream, I mean, but in soccer, you can be 6'6", 5'6", and on the same thing, the women's side. And that's why I think you're finding more and more, come over. And I think what's exciting is that soccer is being used by other professional athletes in other sports to train for their sport. Like there's been NFL players use soccer as a training mechanism to get quicker feet, because having that ball at your feet and then taking that ball off your feet is like having a weight removed. And so you see NBA players. I mean, it's just crazy how soccer now is being used in other sports to increase their own ability in those sports.
Interesting, coach. I know there's a lot of kids that I'm speaking to presently, and I explain to them, just to piggyback on what you're saying, coach, in terms of the junior colleges. I explain to a lot of the kids out in the Caribbean, Europe, around the world that I'm in, speaking with, and I explain to them, look, a junior college too is a good place to start, because it's very competitive in the US right now at all levels, coach.
Yes, junior college is a fantastic route. The one thing that, if you were to ask my guys, things that I talk about a lot, and recruits even, I always tell them, I said, guys, you have to remember one thing. It's not how this journey starts and how it ends. And so your journey can start in many ways. It could start at a high level D1 and then end up playing somewhere else, or it could start at junior college and play at a high level of whatever division. So the point is find a fit, find a home. If it's a junior college route, there are so many fantastic junior colleges across the country that you can find a home, take care of business on, and most importantly, off the field, because those academics are what's going to open up your opportunities if you want to go to different platforms and, and succeed. And so, yeah, the junior college is a tremendous route. For us, we recruit both sides. I mean, now for us at junior college, them coming as a junior, as I tell them all, I expect different things from them than I would a typical freshman, because they're older. I mean, more mature. They've had a couple years here. So there are expectations that are a little greater than a typical freshman that's coming in, that's just, learning. So yeah, I always tell, find the fit. Again, it's how you end the journey and not where you begin it, because where you begin is not maybe where you're going to end up. So yeah, all those are great opportunities. Junior colleges are tremendous, and they get better and better each and every year. The caliber, the talent. I mean, it's just amazing. So yeah.
Interesting, coach, and interesting too of the different nationalities we would find here in the collegiate soccer. You will find in kids out of Brazil, Argentina, all over these top countries around the world. They are getting their kids into the collegiate soccer in the United States because it's a good platform for them to develop.
Sure, I agree 100%. And it's amazing because throughout my years, it's amazing when some internationals come over, because there used to be a perception of, oh, the Americans, I'm going to go there, I'll dominate and I'll do. But when they come, and the first things that usually they say is how fast and how physical the game is, because, you know, Americans are, you know, typically we've been a blue collared, hard nosed, we're going to work, work, work. And so you take like countries like Brazil, where they, you know, it's a more kind of systematic play, and they come here where it's like we're flowing like Leeds United, right? We're going, it's nonstop, 90 minutes, heart throbbing, run, run, run. And but that's a collegiate game, and so they have to make that adjustment. And I think over the years, what's happened is we've recognized, and I think just because of the talent, how much better it's gotten across the board from the internationals and the Americans, that they realize, well, this is high level. I mean, this is high level coming here. It's physical, it's fast, it's talented. I mean, so it's, I always, you know, caution all international, you come here, that it's going to be a different game. It's going to be a different game. And so don't assume anything. It's going to not, you know, especially with the subbing, right? You know, we don't have the 3 to 5 subs in college. I know they're trying to make some changes to that, but still, because we don't have just the FIFA rules and subbing, you have ability to bring fresh bodies in, run, press, do things a little bit more. So that's, you know, that's an adjustment that people have to realize, is that when they come here, be expecting that it's going to be a high tempo. But just look at the talent. I mean, on American and the international, what it does is it just raises your level. I think it's important to be able to play and adapt. And that's the key, is now can you adapt and, you know, take your skills that brought you here and then adapt. And all you're going to be is a better markable player, maybe to go to the next level, the ability to do both on, I mean, offense and defense. So.
Interesting, coach, because if you look at the makeup of the U.S. men's national team, if you go through that, and I know over here we have a first team, a second team, and we could have a third and fourth team, coach. If you look through that American team from 1 to 200, if you want to count from 1 to 200, you will see all these kids came through the collegiate level.
Oh, sure. And that's the thing that, like I said, I always say, could you imagine McKinney, Pulisic, these guys, if they played in college? I mean, I would say I would have loved to have had them. I mean, because when Pulisic and McKinney, these guys were teenagers when they went over, I mean, and what they're doing. But that's you know, such a great thing to see on both sides, on the women's side and the men's side, because it's just shown the talent that we're producing now, and the ability to go play. And again, they're not playing at where it used to be the bottom tier teams. They're going to the front runners. They're going to top level teams, and they're not only on the team, they're producing, and they're starting, and they're having success. And so that's such a tremendous thing. And like I said, because of all this, we've got, you know, more Americans going overseas. So therefore our national teams become stronger. But now you've got more youth saying, hey, I want to be that next person, whether it be a male or female. But now our college game gets even better, because the talent's like, you know, maybe they're not quite ready to go pro yet, but then they go into college and they're coming at a higher level than they did in the past, because, you know, it's just the training, everything is just much, much more advanced than it used to be. And just like you mentioned before, just in that 6-year span. Now, obviously, COVID put a little stop to little of the things, but we're slowly getting back into it, and you're going to see it blow up, because just in our area here, St. Louis is going to have MLS in 2023. So, I mean, just in that short period, I mean, and they've already got their St. Louis second team, and so they'll have MLS, and then they'll have their second team, and so again, more opportunities that are coming here. But yeah, the growth and it's just amazing to see the talent now, where it used to be run and run here in the American, but it's still very passionate. But the creativity, like when you watch the U.S. national, I mean, they play. They don't just run like it used to be kickballs, some would say. It's a you know, some very creative players that with you know, a lot of just gusto. I mean, yeah, it's amazing, you know, to see the growth. And then, like I said, the women national team continues to be at high level, high caliber, and the standard, you know, of women's soccer in the world.
Very, very much interested, Coach Rob. When you really look at the system in the U.S. too, Coach, where you have rec and travel, and you have premier teams, and then you have some of the high school teams. I was really surprised, Coach. In my state, I went to watch a lot of high school games, and I was watching these kids at high school at the age of what, 14, 15, around that age, Coach, and it was just frightening. How these kids were playing, the level, Coach. These kids are playing at 14 and 15, and the size of the kids. They are developed, they are mature. So which means, coach, a lot of coaches are doing a wonderful job at the youth level, developing these kids. Yes?
You're absolutely right. At this point, at this juncture, at any other time, there's more licensed, educated, ex-professional coaches, ex-collegiate coaches, ex-collegiate players that are coaching in the club system and paying it forward, as we say, you know, giving back to the game that brought them much joy than any other team. You know, we still have our grassroots, which are, you know, volunteer parents, which is a big need, you know, in here, because not everyone has the ability to go to the club and play right away. So those volunteers are super important, that, and it's important that we help them to educate and to be able to give the players what they need. But it absolutely, it just amazes me wherever you go. I mean, just the coaching on both the men and the women's side. I mean, the female coaches and how that's exploded, you know, and you're seeing the quality, you know, coaching going across, not only in the club level, but in the collegiate level. And so, you know, it's tremendous. And from all backgrounds too, you know, I said, you know, it's just, you know, it's exciting to see, you know, sometimes, you know, it could run into things, because when you look at the national team, so many influences that sometimes it could be a little difficult, you know, because you need a foundation, I always believe. So when you come together, there's that foundation, but we only grow from listening to different experiences and the different. And I know that's what's helped me, you know, is listening from how, you know, Latino to African coach, to European, to everyone in between, and listening to their styles and just taking it and molding it my own. Because I'm Hispanic myself. I always, I'm a light-skinned Mexican. You know, I'm a first generation in the States, because my dad was born in Canada, so I kind of have all the sports. So I have Mexico. I was born in California, and then my dad in Canada. So, I mean, I got, you know, people always ask me, so who do you support? You know, is the Mexican national team Canadian or US? I said, well, I'm a US citizen. I'm an American first. But there was a time, I have to admit, that I enjoyed preferring the Mexican style and how they played and did things. But the US now and the Canadian style and what they've done, whew, it's tough. All three are potential World Cup qualifiers. So, I mean, it's a great place to be.
So then, coach, I can say that the World Cup is going to be played in your home country, right? The next World Cup.
Yeah, 2026. You're exactly right. I mean, you know, no matter where it's going, it's Canada, US, or Mexico. Yeah, I've got you know, family in all three. So, I mean, you know, I can, you know, it'd be nice to be able to have all three and be able to root for all three in success. But yeah, it'll be exciting, because I think, you know, I think the US, and that's one thing I think that gets in mind when you look, and that's when you talk about earlier, when you're talking about all the pro clubs that come here, the support for those clubs. I mean, you're talking about, you know, when I think it was in the Rose Bowl, 110,000 people watching Barcelona. They play. I mean, that's why they come here. They come here obviously to experience, you know, different places, whether it be Florida, California, the beaches, you know, and get away and train. But they also just the reception and the support of the people coming to watch them play and be in awe. It's just, and that's why you're seeing more and more internationals coming to the US, and not after the prime, but still in their prime, you know, coming to the MLS, you know, wanting to play here, wanting to call, you know, the MLS home. I mean, you're seeing it because it's just the support, and they're realizing that, yes, it's here and it's not going away.